it's about coming back to what you want, right? So it's about, coming back to your mojo, right? That's what I call it. But, whatever resonates for you, is it instinct? Is it your spark? Is it what makes you special? Is it something that lights you up? Is it just what makes you happy? I think it's always worth reviewing and refreshing, like, why? Why does that make a difference? Because I don't know about you guys, but my everyday, my normal life definitely can get in the way, right? And what is that? That's actually my old habits, right? My old reactions to my everyday life, in inverted commas. They're the persistent things. So when we feel like, an old habit's crept back in, when we feel like stuff's going wrong in life, or there's some kind of circumstance that we're just really not vibing, then it's actually our own reaction to it. It's our own pattern to it. And it's often linked to, like, the two can be the same. The two can be like completely merged together. They could be one after the other. One causes the other. It doesn't really matter. But the thing is that we're not, it's always never far away that we're not doing enough that lights us up. So it's always that coming back to the bit that sparks you. And the reason why is because it's like, it's the shortcut. So we can talk for days about neuroscience. We can talk for days about motivation and action steps. We can make plans, and all of those things are absolutely useful, because it's not that easy. We know that, right? We know it's not as easy as just thinking one happy thought and off we go. But I think it's really good to still cling on to that sort of that north, that due north of, if it lights me up, it's the right way, in a healthy way, right? Because we could also be, a hopelessly addicted to drugs, and that might light us up, but not in the same way. So you guys know the difference, right? Like, pizza lights me up. Pizza and beer and wine light me up, and so does chocolate. But I also know from experience that it's a short-term win, and then it's not a long-term light up. So we're looking for, just to be blatantly clear, because I know we all know it, but it's that long-term, like, good for me in my soul, feels good. There's no bad side effects, right? Like, and this is the thing, part of our practice, and that's why meditation's such a great tool to use. It's not the only tool, but it's such a great thing to use, in conjunction with other things, is because we hone the listening, we hone the awareness of that voice at all, that instinct, that mojo, because often we can't even hear it, right? Like, let alone follow it. So, and I've even, I mean, you guys might laugh, like, I'm teaching this stuff, but I'm still practicing too, man. Like, I have found in the last few weeks, I've been not kind of trusting my mojo, because I haven't seen full plans laid out in front. Like, most of you guys would have heard me say, it's not going to give us the whole plan. That's why it's terrifying, because it's, it's going to give us, like, the first step, the next step, like a GPS. It's going to go, next turn left. If you're lucky, you might get after that turn right after 2 kilometers, but that's it, right? Any more than that would be confusing. But for some reason in our lives, if we cannot see the whole plan, we think, oh, shouldn't do that, don't do that. That's a terrible idea. But to expand ourselves, to make the most of this gorgeous, gorgeous life that we've been given, we're going to have to make our peace with some unknowns. We're going to have to retrain, rehabituate ourselves to maybe even be excited by some unknowns. So it's real subtleties, isn't it? It's a very sort of sophisticated is the word I want to use, but I don't mean that in any snobbery whatsoever. I just mean it's a fine-tuned skill. And I deliberately use the word skill because, damn, it takes practice. Talent comes naturally. It's what you do with that talent. If you hone it and train it and stick with it and maybe get really good tuition and go through the pitfalls and have some wins and then stagnate and then have a win again if you're sticking with it. That's what builds skill. And so it is a skill of tapping in and being really honest, like really wholeheartedly honest with ourselves about what feels right in this one moment. I'll give you a funny little